Hello everybody, it's Helen here. I just wanted to reintroduce myself as to how I help people in my work. My name's Helen, Helen Quarmby. I'm a healer. I channel healing, and it helps women who hold trauma within their physical body. I imagine there aren't many of us on the world that don't hold some form of trauma. But there are some of us, particularly if you're very, very sensitive, and if you come across the work of Dr. Elaine Aron, she's done so much research and written quite extensively on what she's called the highly sensitive person. And I think she talks about there being 15 to 20% of the population, and this even extends towards the animal kingdom as well, that there are those that are extremely sensitive. Now, sometimes that kind of being used as a bit of an attack on us, especially if we don't understand our sensitivity, because we're sort of feeling things so much deeper and stronger than a lot of other people. So it can feel quite overwhelming if you don't really understand it, if you don't understand yourself, and it can feel as if the world is just far too much a lot of the time. So the trauma's been talked about extensively. You only have to look at people's work such as Dr. Gabor Mate, as to how that affects us, and he in particular talks about how trauma is really, it separates us from our true self, our true essence. Because when we're born, we are really probably the purest version of our physical human selves that we're ever going to be. But the stuff happens in life, doesn't it? And it creates trauma in us. Now, if you're a highly sensitive person or a highly sensitive woman like me, then even more subtle events in life can create trauma within us. Whereas for some people, it's like water off a duck's back, and other people will think to us, well, what the heck's wrong with her? Why is she so bothered about it? Why does she feel the need to go and sleep or separate herself from society on a regular basis in order to sort of recuperate or re-energize, as it were? But that's how being highly sensitive can affect us. So if we're holding a lot of trauma, it can make us behave, react, relate, not only to ourselves but to other people, in ways that aren't necessarily a true reflection of who we are at heart. Because that trauma can start from birth, really. It's part of conditioning. We become our environment, we become a product of who our main caregivers are, who our main influences are. So we can very easily lose our true self. So the way that this shows or can show itself in people is that we can become quite anxious, quite nervous. Depression can be a part of it. We feel to struggle in some people's company, particularly if there's lots of people around us. It can affect our confidence, our sense of self-worth, our self-esteem. We might be labelled very shy, inhibited, recluse even. But there are the big events in life, such as abuse, neglect, war, the big events in life, conflict. Trauma can be handed down ancestrally. I think groups of people, such as, for example, the Jewish people, that can be passed on from one generation to the other, even though one generation hasn't experienced the highly traumatic events. of past generations, it can still sit within us as individuals. We can also have trauma from past lives. So, for example, whether you believe this or not, women who have experienced being hunted down or accused of being witches in the past, simply because they knew a lot about healing, herbs and essences, and being able to heal people. Anyway, for those of you who might be struggling with life, even though you may have worked on yourself quite a bit, it might be that that trauma still sits within you, and you could pass that on to your offspring if you're a mum. So what I just wanted to say today is that my work, it is online, it is one-to-one, and you know, I have a background as a physiotherapist. I've worked as a Bowen practitioner for many years as well. So I do know about confidentiality. I come from a place of a confidentiality background, a professional background, both within the NHS and private. But I've worked for a long time individually with people like yourselves. So if you're struggling to still feel good about yourself, if you have issues with trust, nervousness, anxiety, shyness, if you know yourself to be an empath, you might not really necessarily understand or know that you are highly sensitive, and that actually comes with gifts, and it's not something to be ashamed of. If you feel to get involved with people that aren't necessarily all that good for you, or if you struggle to feel comfortable in other people's company, if there's any shape or form that you're really struggling to be you, then it may well be that trauma is affecting you. If you are quite critical of yourself, if you're a perfectionist, those are other traits as well. If you struggle with boundaries, you might end up being the person that gives away your power quite a lot. You might become timid, or sometimes we can actually go the other way. We can hit the other end of the scale. For example, if we've gone down the lines of management, or we've really over-identified with a career and we've used that to bolster our sense of worth, then sometimes we can come across as a little bit dominant, unapproachable maybe. We can get labelled aloof. But these are the things that not to don't take to heart. Don't feel as though you're being attacked with that. It's just that I've done an awful lot of work on myself in identifying how these things affect us and how we can feel in life about ourselves, other people, about other circumstances. So I just wanted to try and let you know how it is I work. So I'm a metaphysical trauma healer. I work on an energetic level, and I work with guides who work for you from the level of your highest good. They know what energy needs clearing from you, so you can feel calmer, relaxed, safe. You can start to trust, feel lighter, more energized, more confident, more at peace, more at one with yourself in the world. And not to hold on to those stories that we seem to struggle to let go of. You know, the things that we feel have happened to us, the people that we feel as though have not been nice to us. We can often hold on to those stories. But it's time that we, if we let those go, if we bring forgiveness into our life and let them go, we just feel freer. We feel more alive. And if any of this is resonating with you, if you're not sure about whether this is, working with me is something that you want to pursue, or the energy side of it, the metaphysical trauma healing side of it, you're a little bit wary of it, feel free to contact me, and we can have a little chat, a brief chat about it. But if it's something it is resonating, I would like to help you, because I know how all of this can feel, and I know how it can impact your life and your relationships. And I know how hard life can feel, and if I can help you to tap into your true essence and for you to feel more free and alive, then I know how that feels, and it's amazing, and it's a true gift to have. So I hope you all have a great day today. Take care, look after yourselves, and hopefully I'll speak to you soon. Bye.